Here are 7 things that I would never spend money on again, as well as tips on how to save money more quickly. When you spend your money, have you ever considered whether or not you could be spending it more wisely? Do you find that at the end of each month, despite your best efforts, you arrive at the end of the month with almost no money to show for all of the hard work that you put in? What if I told you that there are 7 things that you could eliminate from your budget right now that would save you a large amount of money each month and help you achieve your financial objectives far more quickly? Let me tell you about 7 things that I will never again spend money on, and I will do so in this video. Number 1, costs of banking. Bank fees are the first item. Do you ever find yourself looking at your bank balance and wondering where all of these seemingly insignificant expenses came from? It is quite possible that these costs are convenience fees, and the way that these kinds of payments are calculated is comparable to someone taking money out of your pocket on a monthly basis. A couple of dollars here and there might not seem like a big deal, but paying $5 to $10 every month can add up to a significant amount over time. These fees are typically associated with the process of withdrawing, transferring, or exchanging money. Taking that into consideration, that is the amount of money that you are willingly paying to the bank each month to cover the cost of a Netflix subscription. Once I became aware of the exact amount that my bank was charging me, I came to the conclusion that I needed to put an end to this practice. Therefore, in order to prevent these charges, I had a conversation with the representative of my bank and informed them that I would move my money to another location unless they waived these fees. To my surprise, the fees were eliminated on the same day we had the conversation. Number 2, the act of gambling. Gaming is the second item. My favorite thing to do on a Friday night was to go to the casino when I was 18 years old and had reached the age where it was legal to gamble. Whenever I was at a slot machine, I would take a seat, put some money into the machine, and pray that I would hit the jackpot and win the jackpot. At that time, I had more money than I did wits, which resulted in me losing hundreds of dollars on each and every visit. This is money that I can only hope I could have back. I am deeply sorry to say that I was completely unaware of how slim my chances of winning were. In point of fact, the odds of winning the grand prize on a slot machine are on average 1 in 49,836,032, which means that my chances of retiring comfortably on a large casino win were, at best, quite low. Regrettably, a great number of people are unable to avoid the dangers that gambling presents. The phrase, "the house always wins," refers to the fact that gambling is never in the player's favor, regardless of whether they are playing for the purpose of winning a significant amount of money or simply to pass the time. As soon as I was aware of my chances of winning, I made a solemn vow to myself that I would never again lose money by participating in gambling activities. Number 3, charges for interest on credit cards. Interest charges on credit cards are the third item. The United States of America is currently in over $1 trillion of credit card debt, which is an increase from the $850 billion that was owed just 5 short years ago. Additionally, these individuals are collectively responsible for paying interest that amounts to billions of dollars each and every year, in addition to having absurd sums of debt. Many individuals are caught in the vicious loop of merely paying the minimum debt on their credit cards, despite the fact that credit cards may be a beneficial tool when used appropriately. You need to understand that by paying the minimum sum, you can only go so far. Certainly, it has the potential to assist you in avoiding the destruction of your credit score. Nevertheless, every dollar of debt that is not paid off will be subject to an interest charge, with the average interest rate being 19.24%. This means that the initial purchase you made will now be more expensive. For example, if you have a balance of $1,000 on your credit card with an interest rate of 18% and you only pay the minimum amount of $100 each month, it will take you 11 months to pay it off, with approximately $100 of that amount being comprised of interest alone. If you want to avoid ever having to pay interest on your credit card again, you should only charge your card an amount that you are confident you will be able to pay back at the end of the month. If you want to take this a step further, you should set up automatic payments for your credit card bills. This is because even if you have the money on hand, if you forget to pay your account, the interest will begin to accrue. There is still a chance for you if you are currently in a situation where you are paying high interest rates on your credit card debt each month. If you want to avoid paying these high charges, you should inquire about the possibility of moving your debt onto a line of credit with a lower interest rate. This will immediately reduce the amount of interest expense that is associated with your debt, allowing you to center your attention on paying the principal amount instead. Number 4, cable bill. Cable is the fourth item. When was the last time you witnessed a show being shown at the time that it was supposed to be? The majority of people just do not find it worthwhile to pay for cable, which has resulted in the elimination of the practice of viewing live television. As of the year 2018, more than 33 million people in the United States have decided to cancel their cable subscriptions and instead choose to spend their money on less expensive entertainment outlets. As an illustration, more than 150 million individuals watch Netflix on a monthly basis, followed by 90 million people who subscribe to Amazon Prime and 55 million people who watch Netflix on Hulu. The use of these streaming services is not only more cost-effective, but also frequently offer superior original material in comparison to the majority of television stations, which makes the transition to streaming a rather obvious choice. However, if you are interested in lowering the amount of money you spend on entertainment even further, then you are in luck because I have another fantastic proposal, and it really pertains to the platform that you are currently using to watch this video. You may find a never-ending supply of high-quality video on YouTube, which can not only keep you engaged for a considerable amount of time, but also assist you in building up your cash account. Number 5. A membership at a gym. A costly membership to a gym is item number 5. It's very likely that you've seen it before. Upon the arrival of the new year, an individual becomes enthusiastic and decides to sign up for a premium gym membership in the expectation that this year will be the year that they finally get in shape. After that, within a few months, people return to their sedentary lifestyle, and it is during this time that their gym membership passes away. It is estimated that over 80% of individuals who join up for a gym membership will quit within the first 5 months of their membership. What is even more concerning is that many of these individuals become too humiliated to admit defeat and continue to pay for a service that they will never use. This problem is only made worse when individuals who are interested in going to the gym decide to treat themselves by enrolling in pricey gyms in the mistaken belief that this will motivate them to exercise on a more consistent basis. It is evident that a gym membership is not a waste for those who go to the gym on a regular basis. However, even these individuals should question themselves if they are paying for more than they actually require with their subscription. These days, a lot of pricey gyms try to give the impression that they are a spa, and they make sure to charge you as if they were a spa. If you want to save money while getting or staying active, you should ask yourself, what is the real reason I go to the gym? And are there other options that are more budget-friendly that I should consider? Number 6, warranty. That is extended. Continuing warranties is the 6th item. The salesperson asks you one more inquiry. Did you want to get the extended warranty? Just as you are about to finish the transaction. You are quite close to completing the transaction. Since you are a cautious person, you decide to get an extended warranty, which will result in an increase of approximately 50% in the whole cost. Nevertheless, at least you will be protected, right? Don't worry if you recognize yourself in this description. You are not the only one. According to a survey conducted in 2018, approximately 30% of respondents stated that they frequently choose to purchase extended warranties for their home gadgets, big appliances, and cell phones. I, too, was once one of those people. On the other hand, as time went on, I became aware of how much of a scam this actually was. There were instances when I would spend as much as half of the product's value in preparation for the possibility that anything would go wrong, which was an extremely rare occurrence. Personally, I have completely stopped purchasing extended warranties. But if you are still uncertain about whether or not you require them, you should ask yourself the following questions before dishing out additional cash. Can I afford to repair this item in the event that it fails without putting me in a difficult financial position? Is there a warranty that the manufacturer has already provided for the goods by default? When it comes to this purchase, would the cost of purchasing an item of greater quality be more beneficial than the cost of having an extended warranty? Number 7. Trying to get people to like you. Try to make a good impression on other individuals. Since the beginning of time, when members of a tribe were punished by either being accepted by the group or being killed, people have always had an innate desire to conform to the norms of their community. Despite the fact that our capacity to survive in our environment has substantially improved over the course of time, our need to be accepted has not altered, which has resulted in a culture that centers on spending money in order to be accepted. As stated in the movie Fight Club, we buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like. And this statement has been true for the majority of people in the past and continues to be true for the majority of people now. The practice of spending money in order to impress others is not recommended, regardless of whether you are acquiring a new clothing to impress a lady at school or a larger home to show off to your friends. In the past, I used to be someone who would buy clothes with designer names on them in order to flaunt them in front of my classmates. I have, however, been fortunate enough to become much wiser as I have gotten older. I have come to the realization that the people who are worth having around will like me for my personality rather than for my outfit. Aside from the fact that it allows you to have more genuine connections with other people, there are actually a great deal of other advantages to avoiding spending money on things that are thoughtless. By way of illustration, if you don't spend money to impress others, you end up conserving more money, which means that you can truly end up being wealthy rather than simply appearing to be wealthy. It is important to question yourself, am I purchasing this item for myself or for someone else? The next time you place that item in your shopping cart. To sum everything up, here are 7 things that I hope I will never have to squander money on again. 1. Fees charged by banks. 2. Gambling. 3. Interest costs attached to credit cards. 4. The cable. 5. An expensive membership to the gym. 6. Extended warranties. 7. Attempting to impress other people. Thank you so much for watching, and I'd love to have a conversation with you in the comments section. Which pointless items do you spend the money that you have worked so hard to earn? Share this video with your friends if you enjoyed it, or if you believe it could be of use to them. I would also appreciate it if you could do me a favor and click on the bell icon, and if you are a subscriber, make sure that alerts are turned on. Welcome to the channel, if you are not already a member of it. I really hope that you subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. Now that we've covered that, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.